Hola, amigos. Hi, I'm Wilson, back at you. Question: how do we decide what to bet on next? Is it going to be a banker or is it going to be a player? Anyone here got a crystal ball or a Harry Potter magic wand? Is it really 50-50? Does the past really make any difference about the future? How do I decide what I'm going to bet on next? That and more starts now. Okay guys, welcome back and thanks for subscribing. YouTube just sent us a big congrats on being a site with over 1,000 subscribers. First off, let me say, I don't have any magic spell or crystal ball on deciding what's coming next. No one does, and if they say they do, better watch out. Run, don't walk. The one thing that I can count on, that it will be random. As bad as that is, it is also something good. At least we can count on that much. There are thousands of patterns and examples out there on the internet that people watch for to help them decide what to bet on next. And guess what? They all work 50% of the time. Some people are great at reading the board and knowing what to bet on next, or should I say guessing on what to bet on next. In fact, I know of at least 4 people that are making a living off of Baccarat. More I suspect here, but I don't know that for sure. Let's discuss what they are seeing when they look at the board, the big road or whatever you want to call it. First off, there's choppy shoes. Back and forth, no more than 3 of either banker or player. In that case, it would be pretty good to pick one side, banker or player, and stick with it until it wins. Pretty safe for one win and out. Well, how about a shoe that's all runs? Bunches of players and bunches of bankers. Now what? Some players are in their glory when they see this, and the system for this is simple. Just bet on the same as the one before, or houseway as they call it, and if it keeps running or repeating, they keep increasing the bet size. This can run into some pretty big wins. The magic of being in the right place at the right time. Okay, what about looking at a shoe that has some chops and some runs all mixed up, or what I call random? I find this most of the time. I look at the board and think, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm sure it happens to all of us over and over. Look around here on YouTube and you will see all kinds of guarantees ways to win. I use the word guarantee very loosely here. Some things I see, same as the time before last, or how about least of the last 3? Maybe after a box shape, or after a reclining slide, or an inverted slide. Some just bet banker only. Or how about betting whichever is winning the most? Like mostly bankers winning or mostly players winning? The list goes on and on. And you know what? They're right 50% of the time. What else? How about patterns and permutations? I think I'll need to bring up the simulator to discuss this one. First, let's look at permutations. I'll do this on one of the cards supplied by the casinos. Let me say this about the casino providing a scorecard. Try that at a blackjack table or any other casino table game. They will be politely asking you to leave the table. But it's okay at the Baccarat table. Why is that? It's because you don't get to change anything. The cards are going to come out the way the cards are going to come out. You don't get to hit or double up or split or just anything. Once the hand starts, you just get whatever way the cards come out. And you have a 50-50 chance of being right or a 50-50 chance of being wrong. With that in mind, let's say that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. So here we go. What are permutations? Let's draw it out the way I learned about it a few years ago. Let's mark down the first 5 hands. I'll just jot down my pattern here. I use a marker so it's a little easier to see on the screen here. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. Then I start on the next row. No bet yet. Just wait to see what the next hand is going to do. And it's a player. So that's an opposite to the banker above it. So since that's an opposite, I'm supposed to bet for a match somewhere along in the next 4. And since it is a banker, it's a match right away. Then I wait 1 hand and start all over again. Mark down the last 5 hands and wait to see what comes next. Just for an example, let's say that this time the first hand matches with the hand above it. Then the next thing to do is bet for an opposite during the next 4 hands. That was my first encounter with permutations. Does it work? Best I can say is most of the time. For me, though, it had enough losses that I could never get very far ahead. I don't know of anyone out there still using this. I'm sure someone out there will be swearing by it. What about what Debbie is doing? And yes, I would have to say it's a type of permutations, but I think it's a much better thought out system. I really have no idea what the word permutation means, but that's what I hear it's called, so I'll just go with that. Let's go to the simulator. I like to discuss patterns and randomness. There are tons of patterns on the internet, mostly for sale. Is one of them any better than any other one? I don't know. I really can't give an honest report on anyone else's system out there, and that's not what this channel is about. This YouTube channel is about how I and some of the amigos make money at the casino. Not selling anything, not teaching anything, just talking about how I see things. With that said, let's have a look at what I have been doing thus far. You've heard me talk about it a little bit before. It's a little system I quite often use when I first walk into a casino. I walk right up to a table, buy in, and bet on banker. I'm betting that I can arrive at the exact time that this shoe is going to produce an exact opposite pattern to mine at this exact time. And all the time I will be saying to myself, bet you can't lose, bet you can't lose. Of course it could happen, but it hasn't happened to me yet in over a year. Notice I said yet. Let's see, we got a pattern up here. Let's have a look here. So if we were starting at the beginning, I would have won on the second bet. Oh, here I got it set somewhere in the middle here. So let's have a look here. Hand 30, let's see where we're going. So first bet would have been wrong. Second bet, I would have got it on the second bet. Let's say that we're walking up to the tables and right at the beginning. Rather than try and pick a spot in the game, we'll just start at the beginning. Pick a random game here, and on the first bet we would have won there. Random game. Second bet we would have won. Random game. Banker. First bet we would have won. And second bet here we would have won. First bet we would have won. Second bet we would have won. First bet win. First bet win. Second bet win. First bet win. Second bet win. I think you get the idea. I'm pretty lucky at walking in at the exact right time. So how did I come up with this idea? I'm not that smart. I know, not the sharpest knife in the drawer and all that stuff. Most of this I picked up from others that are smarter than me, and I thank them all. It's a little bit of this system and some of that system, mixing and matching, trying this and trying that. And this little trick, there's a little bit of banker, banker, player, banker, banker, player, mixed with hit and run, bankroll, martingale, permutations, positive thinking, and of course dumb luck thrown in for good measure. I have talked about this numerous times. Will this work for everyone? I doubt it. The right frame of mind, I think, means a lot. While we have the simulator open here, let me throw out another crumb. This will be for anyone who has a pattern that they like to play with. I'm going to use my pattern. Actually, it's Vic's pattern. I stole it from him. Let's throw in some permutation into the mix and with some sit and watch and some thought. Okay, I will look for player, player, banker, player, player. When I see that, I will start my 6-step betting. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker, player. I think that's about as safe as I can get and still call it gambling. So here in this shoe here, we got, well, there's one there. Player, player, banker, player, player. So time for me to start, so I would be going banker, banker. I won on the second bet. And do we have another one here? No, that's all there is in this shoe. Let's go to another shoe here. Random game. So here's one here. Player, player, banker, player, player. So I start there and I would go banker, banker, player, banker. So it's on the fourth bet that I would have won here. And I guess that's all I see here. But there's another situation. What if I go in the reverse of this and look for banker, banker, player, banker, banker? There we go. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. So I'm now looking for the player. So right, first bet, player, win there. So let's see if we got any more. Here's another one. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. Start betting, player. First bet, a win. And do any more here? Here's one here. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. Start betting for player. Player. There we go. First bet. Let's bring up another shoe here. Just have another quick look here. Yes, there's one here. Player, player, banker, player, player. So we got to start looking for banker. So we go banker, banker, player. Whoops, I pushed the wrong button here. Banker, banker, player, banker. So I win there. And let's go see, looking here. Here's one here. Player, player, banker, player, player. We start looking. So banker, first bet, we win. And do we find any more here? Here's another one. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. We're going looking for player. So first one is banker, player. We win on the second bet. Oops, we would have won on the first bet. I'm going to the wrong spot here. Pick one more game here for another quick look here. Here we go. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. So we're going looking for player. So player, player. Got it on the second bet. Got any more here? Here's one here. Banker, banker, player, banker, banker. We're going looking for a player. So player, player. Got it on the second bet. Any more? Here's one here. Player, player, banker, player, player. We're going looking for banker, so we go banker, banker, player. Got it on the third bet. And that's it for this game. Do you have a different pattern that we could watch for all at the same time? And you could also switch over to Bead Road and be looking for Debbie's setup here at the same time too. There's a lot of things that you could be sitting there watching for. As long as it stays random, I have a fantastic chance of walking out of the casino with money in my pocket. Remember one thing when you go into the casino. You are playing against the big boys. They have the big bucks and they can outbet you any time of the day. Maybe they know more than you think? Don't forget, they do this every day, all day long, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, well, except this year, of course. Think of it this way. You're going into battle against a battleship with a water pistol. It's not fair, not even close. You had better be prepared. Know before you go. Yeah, I know, I'm going on and on. Thanks for subscribing, guys, and hitting that like button. I do appreciate it. And also, thanks for all those thoughtful and positive comments down below. I do appreciate them. Till next time, guys, perfect your plan, knock out fear, fight greed, cash in the pocket.